with regret. Let's talk about Doctor Who.
Oh god, okay.
The Interstellar space song Fugazi Fugazi, whatever. It was this episode. It was another one of the episodes of all time.
It was an episode.
I don't know, dude. It was just kind of... And I think it's another nothing burger. I was looking on BBC iPlayer before I selected it, like where the season's gone. I'm like, didn't love the first three, but I liked Belinda enough for it to carry through. Yeah. And then I think the real soggy bottom's been Lucky Day, Storing the Engine to this, where it's just kind of been like, we haven't had a lot of Belinda and the Doctor strengthen that relationship. Once again, they've been kind of separated.
Yeah.
And they were kind of the thing that was pulling me through the early half of the season. There was some absolutely insanely whack reveals this episode, which I want to get into with you as the filthy casual, the resident filthy casual.
Because there's a few things I didn't know what was going on.
I thought that. When I was watching it, I was like, it's so good that you're here for the podcast because we could break down exactly why this is such a like fan servicey moment that doesn't mean anything to anyone else.
Yeah.
That I think has got direct comparison points to RTD's original work, which would have been handled so much better. But also, I think it's a politically very messy episode. I'm so sick of the kind of the very safe kind of modality of talking about like genocides and terrorism and freedom fighting of like, here's someone whose planet got genocided and they've come into the story as a villain, but there's no nuance to it. Because to make them a villain, even though they've got a tragic backstory, we're going to make them do something so comically evil. In this case...
So much stuff twirling.
They're going to kill 3 trillion people. So of course the Doctor is fully justified to then like torture the villain with like electric hard light, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
And it's like a moment where he's like, yeah, you're so irredeemable. You've got you just want to kill with your filthy heart. And it's like, we're not going to like deconstruct any of this. We're just going to do like the most basic one-note, one-dimensional kind of terrorist archetype, which you've seen in a million things before. It was giving me flashbacks to like Falcon Winter Soldier, where it's like, the reason why Carly is doing what she's doing is actually gettable. Yeah. But to make her the villain, we have to make them do comically. Like, I saw a clip the other day when I was like rewatching Thunderbolts for like a video, and I forgot like she blows up a car with people in it, and one of the other terrorists goes like, there was people in that car, and she's like, this is the only language they understand. Like
the new Avengers.
Yeah, like it's just like they've got to make it so exaggerated all the time with these kind of things so that the hero is completely justified in beating them and hurting them. Yeah. And I just feel like it was this in Overdrive today. Like, the whole scene where the Doctor's, like, torturing the goat guy.
RTD has been quite obsessed with a little bit with the Doctor being a bit more mean, I feel like, or a bit more in this season in general. I feel like the whole point for me was that he kind of, he goes out of his way to try and not kill or be horrible. He kind of always tries to solve things with his words, and if he has to lock someone away, I mean, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but that's how I've always took it. Whereas I feel like this season there's been a few cases where it's like, oh, he's really angry now and you've got to watch out, he's going to do something mean, and then this one I feel like was the culmination of that, of like, oh, now he's actually going to like you said.
I feel like there's always been darkness to him, but it's been explored. There always has, but like, there'll usually be like a cost for him doing something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas in this episode, it felt really unearned at the end for Belinda to be like, oh, you're so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing though. It's like this guy, Kid, I think his name was.
Yeah.
Was just trying to sort of he was just trying to avenge his planet that were destroyed by an evil corporation, and for the Doctor to respond with like, oh, it's just in your nature, your very being, to be like a cold-blooded killer, and it's not about getting justice for you. It's just about hurting people. It's like, I don't know if that was really the motivation. I feel like it ends on a really weird note. But also, just aside from that muddy messaging, it's just like not a particularly exciting episode. I feel like the best bit is when the bubble gets burst and everyone like flies up into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like people in corridors. The one couple that happened to not be on in the bubble when it's burst happen to be the 2 people that can advance the plot. The nurse that can save the Doctor and the guy that was like tech so that he can save them.
Make holograms.
The only other person that, like, the singer that was also happens to be part of that race that got exterminated, she happens to be one of the only people that didn't get sent up into the bubble. Like, it's all just very convenient plotting.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a unimaginably lame premise for an episode. Like, is this? It just feels more like RTD loves Eurovision and wanted to make a Eurovision episode. Like Rylan, National Treasure. It was hilarious seeing him defrosted, and it's the same Rylan.
Rylan Danger Powers.
He's the same Rylan from our modern day.
Yeah,
that's
hilarious. Yeah.
And I loved when he was getting frozen. He was like, "Oh, not again."
Yeah.
Also, a treasure.
Yes.
Well, I'm part Irish, so I can say National Treasure for me. I can say it.
Yeah, okay.
Have you got any Irish in you?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you can say it as well.
Okay.
National Treasure. There we go. National Treasure.
Yeah.
Graham Norton, Mr. Graham Norton, legend. I loved. It's like an AR recreation. He's like, "I'm dead now. Oopsie."
Yeah,
but anyway, here I am.
I feel like that's what he'd be like.
Yeah. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
There was fun parts to be had, but I just feel like the overarching narrative was just boring, and it wasn't a particularly exciting episode. And I think we've had this constant problem where it's like just confined to like a couple of corridors.
Yeah.
It keeps feeling cheap, even though there's like proper like expensive effects going on.
Yes.
Like when the bubbles burst, that all looks really expensive. Then we get back to the sets,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this feels really cheap. I don't know. Did you enjoy it? Did you feel any kind of like, other than when Graham Norton and Rylan were on screen? Did you feel any of that?
No, I completely agree with everything you said. Really. Everything feels. I think it's a big problem with the show is like everything kind of feels very convenient, and I feel like you constantly know kind of where it's going a little bit. Like as soon as we met the other the lady who's with the horns,
right? Yeah.
Ends up singing. I was like, well, then they're definitely gonna sing, and then everyone's
when it was
gonna
like,
clap.
what have you ever done?
Yeah.
And now we've got her to come up on stage.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, well, the beats are all kind of like laid out like a breadcrumb.
And it's like everyone's like, and I'm being told that I should be emotional in this scene, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I feel like on paper I see what they're trying to do, and I feel like you can make that work. It's just that it's so on the nose and so just obvious, like very. I feel bad saying lazy, but I feel like that's how I felt a lot of the time. It feels a lot like first drafts and we're done kind of thing. Like this goes into this. Oh yeah, sure, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like there's been real care and thought put into like how do we make the audience feel this moment. I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a show that's like when RTD Series 1 came back, it had to deliver. It feels like a show that's been on for 20 years that like we've got a built-in audience.
Yeah.
Let's just coast constantly.
Yeah, it does feel like that coasting. You're right. It doesn't. Yeah, that's so true.
Anyway.
And even though the stakes are really really high all the time, I never feel very. I don't feel like they are. I don't know.
It's like the Delta wave.
Yeah,
it's gonna kill all these people. But it's like, well, I'm not feeling the stakes of this.
One thing that really bothered me, as a filthy casual, and I'm sure you're about to go into it, funny enough, is when he's floating in space and then he's freezing over, and then he just has a memory. From filthy casual, he has a memory, and that memory makes him defrost.
Right. Okay.
And
so yeah, this was what I was going to segue into.
Yeah.
So I want to go into like the fan wank.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So
this is the fan wank segment.
So that old woman that just appeared in the vision to him.
Yeah.
That's his granddaughter from like the 60s, from like the very first episodes.
Oh right. Yes.
She's not been in it since then.
Yes. Now that's coming back.
And they kind of mentioned it a little bit in the last series.
Yeah,
they kind of played. They kind of made Susan Twist. Made you think that maybe she could be the granddaughter.
Yeah, because doesn't he say in the episode with the piano lady, "Oh, my daughter lives over there."
Yes. Yeah. So, what I hate about it is it's just such fan service. Like, who outside of the hardcore cares about Susan? I mean, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I don't care about Susan. I just think it's one of those things. It's like, she doesn't need to come back. She's a first Doctor staple. Like, we can just move on, tell new stories. Or you've got this whole concept of regeneration. Like, I just think bringing back Carol Ann Ford, like in a very like Disney Star Wars way of like, here's the old actor you love. Remember? Like, here she is cameoing. Isn't that enough? Like, we don't need like any like gripping story reasons. She just pops up. It's like, I feel like the RTD of 20 years ago, if they were going to bring in Susan, it would have been a regeneration. Like the way he brought in John Sim, fully regenerated, just to give us a fresh take on the Master. I feel like he would have given us a fresh take on Susan. But instead, this weird new RTD is like, no, I'm going to give you the fan wank.
Yeah.
Like, and also, I think what's so crucial with this is he had the chance to bring back Susan before. He didn't. He had Moffat had the chance to bring back Susan, never relented. He even said with the character the Rani, Moffat said, "I don't think she's a strong character. I'm never going to bring her back." Whereas now we've got to this point where like we've exhausted everything else. It's like you get Susan, you get the Rani, like Sutek from that one story. Like, isn't this exciting? It's like we're scraping the barrel. We're like, who else is left? Do you know what I mean? Who else is left? Like, we've done the Master, we've done the Time Lords, we've done the Daleks, we've done the Cybermen, we've done the Sontarans, we've done the Ice Warriors, we've done the Sea Devils, we've done, like, you know, Moffat. I'm going to give you new things, even if they don't work. Like, Weeping Angels worked. The Silence, iffy, but it was a new villain, a new threat. This is just like... And even like the Great Intelligence, that was a legacy villain. Brought back, new actor, Richard E. Grant. Fantastic actor, breathing new life into it. Iffy villain, iffy plot, but it was still something new. Yeah. Whereas I just think like bringing back, like wheeling out Caroline Ford is just like, who is this for? Like, I don't know, if you're a fan, you love just the notion of seeing her pop up, it's like, okay, great. But they're not going to do anything interesting with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to contextualise.
Sounds like a Disney problem.
It
sounds like sounds like what we experienced with Star Wars when Gloop Shitto kept turning up for a bit.
It is a Doctor Who Gloop Shitto. Absolutely a Gloop Shitto. Because it's like, I just, why now, 20 years into New Who, do we need to now tackle Susan? And like the Rani... That whole bi-generation thing, I just love how like every single criticism of this era, we just have to keep doubling down. We have to just keep doubling, tripling down. Like no one liked the bi-generation, no one. But we have to do it. We have to keep going. We have to do it again. We have to do it again. And RTD basically admitted on like the behind the scenes of the Unleashed, basically the replacement for Doctor Who Confidential, that he didn't know who Mrs. Flood was going to be when they started doing all this. So he basically just settled on the Rani, which makes no sense.
He did a bit of a JJ. He did a mystery box.
He absolutely did a JJ.
Disney parallels now. What's going on? This, it's weird.
I feel like it's so clear he didn't plan her as the Rani because this is the character that keeps breaking the fourth wall, talking about like the Harbingers and all these godly. We all thought she was going to be like another one of the pantheon of gods, right? But it turns out she's just a time lady, and now we've got two Ranis. So what's up with that? I don't know. Also, I'm going off here. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry. Just take all the fan wank, please. Why when they bi-generate is now the old Mrs. Flood Rani now like subservient to the new Rani? What was going on there? Yes. Oh, sorry, ma'am. I'm going to come with you now. Like, why is she like her characterization across the whole of this RTD2 era has never been like that? And then as soon as she bi-generates, she's suddenly like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry, ma'am. You're the Rani." Like, what's that? What? Also, if we're going to go out of our way to be like, Mrs. Flood, who is Mrs. Flood? Who is she? And then at the second we find out who she is, she regenerates? Oh, I guess she didn't matter then, did she really? Like, she's actually this other character. Yeah. This other regeneration. It's like, again, there's so many parallels to it. I don't know if you remember, but when the Master came back, he was an old man, played by Derek Jacobi. And within that 45-minute episode, they revealed that he was actually the Master, but it was all thematically tied to what had been happening in the season. It was exciting, and then he regenerated into John Sim. Whereas this is constantly, we're like recycling the same ideas, but it's like a poor man's version. It's like, well, what if Derek Jacobi popped up throughout the whole season, making weird fourth wall breaks, and then he regenerated into John Sim after we spent a whole season saying, "Who's Derek Jacobi?" Like, that's what that would be like, which would be it'd be shit.
Stupid.
Doesn't make sense. No. It's not exciting. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Wouldn't it have been like better almost if she did like Miss Flood did a switch where when we find out, then she, like, her plan, whatever she's been planning, it seemed to come to fruition by this episode, right? So wouldn't it be better that she almost goes a bit Palpatine, where she kind of becomes a bit more like nasty?
I thought she was going to switch.
Yeah.
It seems like a cop-out to just have her regenerate.
Yeah, just to split up. It also, it's like, oh, now we've got to set up this person.
Yeah.
Next week's going to just go away again.
Yeah. It doesn't fill me with confidence going into this finale. Like, the finale is now like the Rani, two of them. Conrad from Lucky Day, he's back.
So how many episodes? 8 episodes.
Yeah, there's 2 more left. So we're at the finale.
Okay,
we're at the finale. But
so this is I guess this is kind of the next episode is kind of a part 2 technically. I guess.
Yeah, there's 2-part finale.
There's 2-part, and then the finale is
Yeah,
Oh,
well, so
three
I guess
parts,
this is kind of
technically.
3 parts,
Yeah,
technically, yeah. But yeah, there's 2 more episodes left.
Okay.
And then a rumoured regeneration.
Is there a trailer for next week? Because I didn't see it come up.
Um,
All I saw was just that.
I've seen
post-credit
stills.
scene.
So Conrad, the cringy boyfriend,
Yeah.
the truther, the podcaster, he's in it.
Oh, okay, great.
And he's aligned with Irani. Yeah, and then
Fantastic.
Ruby Sunday's back. Belinda's obviously in it.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to Earth. We're going to the 24th of May.
The Avengers, the Doctor Avengers.
Yeah, it's the Doctor Avengers.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I guess something will materialise. We'll see.
We'll see.
But I just... have any of the reveals across the whole RTD tour have been very good. I mean, we started with a terrible reveal in the Bi-Generation, and now we're doing it again.
Yeah.
I think the best reveal of the whole thing was just, like, the tension of Sutek appearing. That felt appropriately, like... You feel like it was a moment.
Yeah.
But then, like, everything that paid off in the following episode last year was shit. She named you after that road. That's why she was pointing.
That made no sense.
That's why she was dressed like a Jedi.
It made no sense. It made no sense. I wonder at the end of the season, are we still going to feel like this season's been better?
It's just so hard here, because it's like, I feel like Belinda was definitely stronger and she was propelling it, but these last couple of episodes been really wonky.
Yeah.
Maybe the finale could tie a lot of it together. We'll see. But it's also like, where is it going to leave Doctor Who?
Yeah.
If this rumoured regeneration is true, is Belinda coming with us? Is that the end of Belinda as well? Like, are we having a hard reset?
Is it done? Is this the last season or the last?
The BBC have implied that they'll keep making it without Disney. So I think what's going to happen is, I think Disney are out.
Yeah.
I don't think the BBC are going to do what they should do, which is give it a little break. I think they're going to just run it into the ground.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep coming out, keep getting more and more stale. We're just going to keep running out of ideas.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think I'm in the minority in the fan base on wanting it to take a little break for, to its benefit.
I think it needs it. Yeah.
I think it needs it. I think a lot of franchises need this sort of, so it comes back and you miss it.
Star Wars needed it.
So absolutely. I think it still kind of does need that.
It does need it, yeah.
We took a break forcibly, but it has been on in that time.
Yeah, that's so true.
But like, one Andor equals like 10 Skeleton Crews. Yeah. It's the same thing with this. Like, one good season of Doctor Who, if we had to wait 5 years, would be worth more than another like 4 years of this in the interim.
Yeah.
And it's strange that the fan base don't agree with that. I don't know. I get you want your Who, but at what cost?
Yeah, some people just want slop, even if it's just because it's got the brand on it.
Yeah.
And I think there was a time where I was, was close to falling for that with Star Wars and even Doctor Who, and then it's just like, hold on a minute, can we just take a break here and just can we do something good?
Well, I felt better for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Tapping out of Star Wars since Obi-Wan Kenobi,
yes,
and then reacquiring it with Andor this year has been the best thing I've done.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Fantastic move.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe next week Wishworld will be electric. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Could be the best episode of the season.
Could end strong, hopefully. Let's pray.
Anyway, this has been the Full Fat Podcast. Check us out. Check out the other comparison video. Check us out on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And check out, we've started doing YouTube shorties. So check those out.
Send them to your friends.
Yeah, send them to your friends. Be like, oh, yo, who's these two losers in tracksuits? Let's make fun of them. Let's leave some nasty comments.
Why are they just like that? Who knows?
Yeah. Right. The answer is because they're the coolest. A huge thank you to Dr. Chike and Peter Vaughan for being my Full Fat patrons. Your contribution to keeping the channel running is immeasurable. If you'd like to join the Patreon for exclusive goodies, early releases of main videos, the podcast, video scripts, and a thank you in the credits, then please head on over to patreon.com/fullfatvideos to choose one of the paid tiers.